Biden has declared his bid for re-election in 2024. However, the latest polls are suggesting that a large percentage of Democrats do not support the re-election of President Biden. It was said by Niall Strange from The Hill on September 29th of 2023 that 67% of Democrats or Democratic-leaning constituents would prefer a different candidate other than President Biden. So, who is the best fit candidate to fulfill Biden's shoes as the frontrunner for the 2024 election if Biden were to drop his bid in favor of more than half of the Democratic Party? Well, there are some favorable candidates amongst the Democratic Party. However, Marianne Williamson presents more favorable factors than the other two candidates, despite the fact that she is an obvious long shot. Let's look into three possible frontrunners, Marianne Williamson, Kamala Harris, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., to narrow down the reasons why Marianne Williamson would become the Democratic frontrunner for the 2024 election if President Biden were to end his re-election bid. So Marianne Williamson attacks the election as a system to crack, the type of ideology that would indulge people into her campaign. Reed Epstein from the New York Times on March 4th of 2023 recounts when she said, "I don't feel like I'm running against President Biden. I feel like I am running to challenge the system." A seemingly strong approach, however, a lot of people have not taken her seriously, especially in the election of 2020. However, this next election, people are going to respond to her candor more positively, and especially because of her display of her passion for activism, which is something that she is known for as a self-help author and activist. Secondly, Marianne Williamson presents a spark of strength pushing into the 2024 election, according to what Brittany Gibson from Politico on May 29th of 2023 has to say. Even if Williamson is destined to be an almost ran in 2024, she's polling higher than she did in 2020, hitting 9% in a Fox News poll, which is higher than most of Donald Trump's declared challengers in the GOP primary. This is an incredible progression, especially because both Kamala and Robert F. Kennedy have struggled in their positions, improving since 2020. It also proves that she has a strong campaign if she is the frontrunner and is going against the Republican Party. And it also pays tribute to the fact that her campaign is full of ambitious plans, including Medicare for all, climate change, and energy policies. Moving on to Kamala. Kamala Harris is viewed as the automatic alternative because she is the current vice president. But this might not be the reality. Niall Strange from The Hill on September 29th of 2023 says that Mrs. Harris declared to the Associated Press and to CBS News that she was ready to be president in the situation that Biden ends his bid for re-election. So she presents great confidence in her ability to facilitate a presidency. However, The Hill presents that an Economist YouGov poll taken on September 29th of 2023 shows slightly more people, 41%, have had a favorable view of Biden, and 36% positively disposed towards Harris. This doesn't define her ability to govern the country. However, it contributes to her unlikelihood. The poll suggests that Harris is an unlikely candidate to govern the country better than Biden because Biden already has half of his party praying for an end to his re-election bid. And it also suggests that if she hasn't showed promise as a vice president, then she's not going to show a lot of promise as president. Compared to vice presidents that have come before her, she is not favored and hasn't met or surpassed their successes. Matt Stiles from the LA Times says on September 26th of this year that Harris's net favorability is slightly lower than that of former Vice President Michael Pence at this point in their respective tenures, and is well under the ratings of three previous vice presidents. It is expected that this is going to worsen her chances at grabbing a positive attention of Democrats to trust her in office. As she'd be sitting in a bigger chair, she needs to have that performance, and she has little of it in comparison to her predecessors. And that is going to compromise the confidence the country looks for in her. Lastly, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., our last contender, has had a surprisingly successful yet short-lived bid that ended with a severe drop in Democratic favorability numbers. The following information even suggests that he should switch parties. Nicole Nuria, on behalf of Vox, on June 22nd of 2023, says that right-wing figures, including Alex Jones from InfoWars, former Trump advisor Michael Flynn, and Turning Point USA head Charlie Kirk, have praised what he has to say. Former Trump aides like Stephen Bannon even think that he would match Trump for a good running mate. With most of his support stemming from conservative ideologies, he's getting a lot of buzz around the Republican Party. Maybe he is running in the wrong party. He is more popular among Republicans, so why not run under the Republican Party? His wrong choice of party is going to cost him the possibility of a successful race, as his close calls with conspiracy theories will not make for a favorable campaign in the eyes of Democrats. Additionally, the R. Coleman from The Week on August 3rd of 2023 says that in response to Kennedy's entanglement in controversies, poll numbers amongst Democrats took a plunge, as he has lost a significant amount of votes among Democrats. So in result, he's gotten a ton of popularity in the Republican Party and a mirroring response from the Democratic Party, as they are disagreeing with every belief that he continues to spew. So his probability of success in the 2024 race is extremely unlikely. Although Marianne Williamson is the underdog in this equation, she is not the most obvious choice as the first frontrunner, but she has been the most proactive between 2020 and now. So based on this, we ask the question, who is the best candidate to fulfill Biden's shoes as the frontrunner for the 2024 election if he were to drop his re-election bill? So Kamala Harris is an unpopular candidate in the vice president role, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. stirs controversy among Democrats. However, Marianne Williamson presents more favorable factors, appealing more to the public than the two other candidates, so she would become the Democratic frontrunner for the 2024 election. So now that we've looked into the three possible frontrunners and narrowed down why Marianne Williamson will likely become the Democratic frontrunner if President Biden were to end his re-election bid, we can confirm that the message Williamson sends promises more engagement in activism and sparks the most curiosity among the three. Thank you.